Welcome to Morning Infusion with Dr. V, where we are intentional about connecting you with other entrepreneurs that have overcome and want to provide value to their audience. It's Dr. V here, where our coaching program teaches nurses how to work on their computers anywhere around the world, make money, and owning their own time. So on today's podcast, we have Miss Melissa Watson. So hey, Melissa, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Good, good, good. So tell me a little bit about you. So if someone were to come up to you and they were to say, Melissa, who are you? Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Oh man, this question. I am the owner of Nikeo Scrub Solutions.
Okay.
Um, I am a mother of five. This question is always hard for me, Miss Viola, because I don't know how to.
Well, you're the CEO and you're the mother of five, and you are a survivor of cancer. Am I correct about
Yes,
that?
ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so tell us a little bit. We're gonna jump right into that journey right there. Because you started out, you had a business before, okay? You had a scrub
Yes.
business before. And what happened with that scrub business?
I didn't treat it like a business. I treated it like a hustle. I got out and did leg work, and the money was coming so fast, and it was going
It was
that
going too
fast.
fast. Gotcha,
Hmm.
gotcha. And so you didn't retain the money that you had coming in.
No, no,
No.
not really. Mm-mm.
And and that's one of the things that whenever it comes to entrepreneurship is that's one of the pitfalls that some people fall into. Like whenever you're looking at the business model, always putting money back into the business in order to grow the business. That's one of the pitfalls that a lot of people fall into, and so I completely understand that. So let's start, okay, with your journey with the cancer. Okay. So tell me what started to happen to you in order for you to go to the doctor, or you just went to the doctor and you were told something. So just kind of give us the ins and outs of that.
Well, I was going to the doctor because my blood levels was low. My hemoglobin was low because when I would have cycles, they were getting heavy. And I knew I had fibroids, but I didn't really know. So I knew that they would be a little heavy, but I didn't know. But they was just like at this point, it had never been like that at no other point. But at this point, they was just like draining me. So I went to the doctor. Well, first I went to the ER a couple of times, and they just gave me blood transfusions and sent me home, and I was feeling better. And then my cycle come again. I go through it again, and then I went to the hospital again, and then once they thoroughly checked me, then
And so, what did they tell you when they thoroughly checked you? Did they find it in the ER, or did they find
no,
it?
they admitted me.
Okay.
They admitted me into the hospital, um, and then they um, started doing biopsies, and they came into the room. I kind of feel because see, I went to the doctor. Okay, so I went to the doctor first. I mean, well, after I left the hospital, well, oh, okay. I don't know how, I can't remember, but they told me that I had stage 4 cancer.
And so, when they told you you had stage 4 cancer, when you were in the hospital or when you were in the doctor's office?
When I was at the doctor's office, they told me that, but for some reason, I feel like I did not leave the hospital, but at some point, I think I did because I had an appointment to go back to the hospital to get the news.
Gotcha.
I mean,
And
go
so,
back to the doctor. I mean, I went to the doctor to get the news.
and so they never told you while you were in the hospital. They told you once you got to the physician practice.
Yes,
Okay.
that was the
So
first time.
So once you got to the physician practice and they told you have stage 4 cancer, what did you think? Like, did you know?
Mm, I knew before I left the hospital. They kind of told me at the hospital, but I think the doctor's office was just professional.
So
You know,
you so you were told at the hospital, and
yeah, because remember I went to the ER.
okay, you went to the ER, so they told you.
Oh, it was
So
yeah,
how
it
did
was.
you how did you feel once they told you you had stage 4 cancer?
I was scared.
Did you know the gravity of stage 4 cancer? Did you know the stages of cancer at that time?
I knew it was a stage 4, and I knew what that meant in as far as what I saw in the world.
Okay, so what did that mean to you?
Um, to me, stage 4 meant that in my head, it meant that it traveled, but it didn't mean that because my doctor would use words that well, my doctor had you know, she well, I'm gonna stay here. At that point when I was at the doctor, um, I didn't think about what stage 4 meant. I just already knew what it meant. So I didn't think about nothing else. I just knew what I knew and I was scared. But I was gonna tell you my doctor said certain words that kind of made me think it wasn't that bad, but it was.
So you didn't think it was terminal at that time.
No, they never used that word.
Okay. And so once you so you left the hospital and they told you, what was your treatment plan at that point?
When I left the hospital,
Or whenever
they
you
didn't
left the
have a
doctor's
plan.
office?
They didn't have a plan for me. It took them a month to come up with a plan for me.
Okay. And once they formed that plan, what was the plan for you?
The plan was six 6.5 weeks of radiation and 10 rounds of chemo.
Okay. And so did you go through the radiation, all the 6 rounds? Okay.
Yes.
And then once you started, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it was 6.5 weeks. You know, it's every day radiation.
Ah, gotcha. And so then once you started with the chemo, then what started to happen to your body at that point?
When I started with the chemo, um, what started to happen to my body?
Because you told me something about your hair.
Yeah, my hair started to fall out.
Take your time. Take your time. I mean, your hair started to fall out because your hair was your pride and joy, right? As it is with most women, right? And when your hair started to fall out, what did you do?
I didn't comb it. Well, I combed it one time and I put it in a ponytail and I just left it like that.
And then what you put it in a ponytail and then you put a scarf over it, correct?
Oh yeah, I put a scarf on it.
And then you just didn't take the scarf off, correct?
Yes, I just left it on.
So now your sister came over, and what did she do?
My sister came over and she was like, "You need to you know what I'm saying? You need to check on your hair. You need to see what like you need to see what it's doing." And I was like, I already know what it's doing, So it was like to me, like I already know it was dying, So it's like I had set it up nice already. So she was like, you need to see what's going on under there with your hair. And I was like, I already know what's going on with it. And she was like, well, take that, take that scarf off your head and let me see. And so, um, I did. I took the scarf off, and it was still in a ponytail, and it was still there, but it wasn't connected to my scalp.
Um, and so once that happened, then what did she do to assist you?
I sat down on the toilet, which is not in front of the mirror,
Uh-huh.
and she just like it was you was able to lift it up, like you was able to like lift it up off my head.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like just connect. It's just like a few strings was like just still connected, and she just cut it off.
Gotcha. And so then after then, you were still doing your chemotherapy, but at what round did you say enough is enough? Because you stopped doing your chemotherapy, correct?
Yeah, I stopped. Yes.
So tell us what happened during that time.
Um, During that time, I was like on my seventh round. I was on my seventh round, and I just was feeling really bad. My breathing had gotten bad, and I was scared. And I told my daddy. My daddy was real big right there with me. So he said he was like, well, just tell your doctor you're not gonna take that next treatment. So I just said,
So
okay.
so you told your doctor you weren't going to take that next treatment, and then what did they do?
She said, okay. She said, first, let me, let's do a scan. Let's do another PET scan and see, and see what they're saying. We'll go from there. And I said, okay.
She did the PET scan, and what happened?
She did the PET scan, and when she did the PET scan on September, and it's coming up, a year is coming up. She did the PET scan on September the 15th.
Mhm.
I went back
Mhm.
to the doctor September the 19th,
Mhm. Mhm.
and she told me that my body was clear,
Was
and that
clear
was clear, and she said it was a miracle. And
because you had Mets everywhere, correct?
yes, but yes, I did.
You had Mets from. Tell me all the places that you had met. So for the audience, when it comes to metastatic cancer, whatever cancer it was, so whenever it comes to metastatic cancer, it travels all over your body, right? And so you had Mets everywhere. So tell me the places where you had Mets.
On my breast, my lungs, my liver, and my kidneys.
Well, you went back to the doctor and there was nothing.
Nothing. Like she said, like my body never even went through that. Like nothing. Nothing is wrong with me.
And so how did you feel then?
I ain't know how to feel, but I could tell you that day, um, another level of confidence came over me that day. Like something different happened that day. I couldn't even go straight home that day.
I
I
love it.
couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't even be closed in that day.
So where did you go?
I just went out to eat, took myself shopping, just did some stuff I wanted to do. I just couldn't go home though. I was too excited. That energy couldn't be closed in.
I love it. So, and one of the things that I do know is that whenever God has a plan for your life, no matter what happens, no matter how it happens, God will carry that plan through. And so you have to understand that that plan is a plan. I know. I hear you. I hear you. You crying over there, crying over there. And so, that plan has to be carried through. And whatever happens, it doesn't matter what happens, that plan will be carried through. And so when you told me of your story, I was like, your story is so unique because I like there's very I've never seen anybody with stage 4 cancer pull out of it. And I've never seen anybody with Mets pull out of it either. And so, both those in there and, all the 30 years that I've been in business, and I'm not saying that I've seen everything and I've not been in oncology either. Okay. So I've been in the emergency department. But to see that happen, that is absolutely amazing. So now tell us about what happened as far as the scrub company. So you get told that you're cancer free now. You can go back. You obviously got beautiful hair now. Your hair grew back. That was your pride and joy. So tell us about your company.
So before I even knew the results, when I after I took the scan, after I took the scan, about 2 days later, that's when I hired my coach and I started. Even though it was like a couple days later, or either I had already, cause see, I met her in a class. She did like a class, and then I met her, and and I started working on my brand like right after that, and then I got the news that I was clear. So I didn't really wait on the news. I had already started working on it, but my brand is called Nikeo Scrub Solutions. And Nikeo is a Greek word in the Bible that stands for to overcome and to prevail and to be victorious. So I wrote that word down in 2018. Scrub Solutions was my first baby. That was the name of my first company, Scrub Solutions. And so, like right after that, like when God gave me that vision, like I can't remember when. I mean, He gave it to me like the custom scrub designs and just having my own brand of things. How He showed me that. I want to say He showed me that during my sickness. That's how I knew that once I just made that decision to stop chemo, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew
Gotcha.
exactly what to do.
So Nikeo, like that is, I don't think I've ever seen that in the Bible. So like, where did you just randomly ran
No,
across that word?
no, I would listen to Wednesday morning prayer every morning. I've been doing it for years. It's come on it come on in a minute, but I've been listening to that for years. And I was into my first business at the time,
Uh huh.
and he had gave a message on it, and I wrote
Okay.
it down.
Okay. Okay. And so you wrote it down, and you were like, I'm gonna use that word.
Yeah, I wrote it down, and I wrote down the meaning of it, and I googled it and all of that, and yeah, and I wrote down I did write down that was gonna be the name of my next scrub line. I could go get it for you right now. I
I
wrote
love
that down. Hmm.
Love it. And and that's one of the things too, was that writing your vision and making it plain. And that is one of the
Hmm.
things that's most powerful. You know, the reality, because you have small 5 children, correct?
Yes.
You have 5 children. You were going through chemo while you obviously have to deal with children and all of that going on. And a
Well,
lot
they
of people,
grown. They
well,
older,
they
but
older, but still, you
yeah.
still have to, deal with children, right? And
Hmm.
you were going through chemotherapy, you were going through your radiation, and you had all this going on. Still, you writing your vision down, and
Hmm.
you're moving forward, like you step forward, even though you thought at that time you had stage 4 cancer. Even though you still wrote that vision down and says that I will be the owner of this scrub solution, right?
Well, no, I wrote that down in 2018.
Before you even knew that you had cancer?
Yeah.
See, and so now it's come to fruition,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I
I
love
wrote
it.
that down. Yeah, I wrote. Yeah, I heard that in 2018 or 19. I think it was one. Yeah, I heard that back then, and I wrote it down.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. So how do you feel today? So tell us where we can find Nikeo Scrub Solutions. Like if we wanted to order some scrubs from you.
Nikeo Scrub Solutions is on all platforms. It's on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at Nikeo Scrub Solutions. You can find me on Facebook at Nikeo Scrub Solutions. Also, you can just go to Nikeo Scrub Solutions, www.nikeoscrubsolutions.com. NIKAO scrubsolutions.com.
Love it, love it, love it. And so how is everything going as far as the business is concerned?
It's going good. It's going good. Let me tell you, I prayed and I was like, I need to do something in marketing creative for my brand. And so I was just praying to God. And let me tell you what he gave me. He told me to go to the hospital where I was and give out three, he said give out 3 uniforms, but make them take off what they have on and put on yours to wear for the day. And that's what I did. And it felt good. Blessing them. They was happy with their sets. They, what I'm saying, because the quality is good. The styles are different. And they loved it. And I feel good blessing them with it. So
Well, that's the power of reciprocity, because whenever you give away, it always comes back to you tenfold. I'm a firm believer in that, for sure, for sure. So is there anything else you want to share with the audience?
Faith.
Okay. So tell us about faith.
Man, faith is, to me, faith is something that saved my life.
Faith of a mustard seed can move mountains.
I believe that.
So you have.
I was gonna, because me not knowing how bad I was kept me. And I didn't let nobody. I didn't have people around me. Nobody knew. I went through that, just me and my family, me and my mama, my dad, my kids. That's it. So
I am glad that you feel so much better.
Yeah.
So you are absolutely amazing. I love your story. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So I would say that we have a master class, but the master class was last night. We probably will have another one in October as we close out. Of course, the goal is for you to work less time and own your own time. With VP Nursing Business Academy. So we will announce the next date of our masterclass, and we do have a live conference. It's called the 6-Figure Nurse CEO, and it's going to be here in North Carolina. And so I cannot wait to have you here. It's going to be an amazing thing. So thank you, Melissa, for coming on and telling us about your story. And I'm so super thankful for you and how everything is gone. So you guys have a phenomenal rest of your day.